All right, welcome you guys. So obviously, the market is still open. It's about to close. I didn't get on here to talk about trading, as far as like a signal or setup or something like that. I'm pretty much gonna talk to you guys about how you're going to be successful in 2024. Trading futures if you're a day trader, right? Now, there's different types of traders. There's scalpers, there's swing traders, then there's day intermediate, right? I'm a day trader. Um, because my trades usually take between, let's say, 1 hour, 1 to 2 hours, or the whole day, right? Meaning day trader or intermediate day trader, right? That's what it means. So if you trade like that, if you trade like my style, right, this is going to be very beneficial to you, right? Now, if you're a swing trader, right, if you're trading, one setup for the whole week, or if you're a scalper, if you're going in and you're trying to get in and out in 10, 15, 20 minutes, right? This is still going to be beneficial to you, but it's mainly going to be beneficial to the day traders, um, just because that's what I am, right? And I can only speak on what I know, right? So a lot of times when y'all get on here on YouTube and you're trying to find information that's useful, you have to find somebody that's similar to you, right? Somebody who has the same either mindset or somebody who is trading the same style, right? That's the only real reason, or that's the only real way that you'll ever really learn, right? You have to find someone similar to you, just like having a mentor, right? So take that in mind. So let's see. I'm gonna show you guys. Yeah, we did get a signal right. It went 1800 pips. This is the signal, right? But before you get in the trade, right? Before you send signals, before you take signals, before you enter that lot size, before you enter that position size, um, there's one very important thing. One thing that's maybe more important than all of that, right? You have to know what type of person you are, right? So in the market, oftentimes in the market, it's going to show you who you truly are, right? So that's why as a trader or as a day trader or currency trader, you have to be continuously self-improving, right? You have to be self-improving. If you're not self-improving, you're probably not going to be successful in this line of work or in this field, right? Because every day you're not going against the market, you're going against yourself, right? The market is going to do what it's going to do. It's going to sell or it's going to buy. Those are the only two things it's going to do, right? Regardless of what the market does, you have to be in control and accountable for your actions and your decisions. Um, a lot like in life, right? And a lot of times in life, a lot of people are not accountable. A lot of people do not like accountability. And that's why you see a lot of people in the same situations, year after year, month after month, week after week, day by day, right? You see them in the same situations, right? Because they're not accountable. They're not someone who can sit there and assess the situation and say, hey, I fucked up X, Y, and Z, and I need to do X, Y, and Z to fix it, right? They're not gonna sit down and have those kind of talk with themselves. In trading, you have to have those kind of talks, right? It does not matter what kind of style you get on here and learn. If you do not know what type of person you are, if you do not know what type of trader your personality, right, translates to, you're not going to be successful, right? Because it's not so much as the style or the method, it's more so to do with you. That's why you see certain people, they're in these groups, they might be taking signals, this, that, and that, and they're not making, 20,000, 30,000 like someone else, right? Now, obviously, it's a money game, right? So, the person who has a bigger account is going to make more, but the person who doesn't have that mindset for that big account, when they get that big account, well, they probably never get that big account. So I don't want to say that. But the person who has that little account mindset, right? They'll never go far in this type of industry or in this field, right? You have to continuously, like I said, be looking to better yourself, um by self-improvement, right? Whatever areas you're weak in, you need to be trying to make those strong. If you're weak in decision making, you need to find out how to make your decision making better, right? If you're lacking in motivation, you need to find out what's going to keep you motivated day after day after day, right? If you're not organized, you need to find a way to become organized, right? If you're not a prompt person, you don't like to show up to things on time, you need to find a way, right, that you can get, not only to the market on time, but you need, like I said, because it translates real life, you need to show up other places at time, right? If you're on time, you're late. If you're 30 minutes, you're on time, right? That's what, someone always told me, right? If you're on time, you're late. If you're 30 minutes early or 15 minutes early, you're on time, right? Be early so you can be on time, right? If you're on time, you're late, right? You got to, run around this, that, and the third. You can't just cool it, right? Be early. So all of those things, you have to find a way to fix them if those are your weak spots, right? If you're a person if you're greedy, right? If you're greedy, right? Nothing is probably going to fix that more. I mean, I hate to say it, but you blowing account after account after account, right? It's going to take a lot of times for you to blow those accounts if you're greedy and you're hard-headed, right? Until you learn. And, a lot of times, um, people people run out of funds to learn, that's the truth of the matter, right? So when you see, the low success rate, you have to take into account those type of people, right? People who are not accountable, people who don't have enough money in their account to learn enough, right? We have to account for the people who want to show up when they want to show up, right? They don't. The market opens at 9:30, or that trading session opens at 9:30 or starts at 9:30. They show up at 10 o'clock. Then they can do what they want to do, right? It doesn't work like that. Just like in the real world, it does not work like that in this, right? You cannot do what you want to do, right? People always say that. They say, well, if 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 I'm doing this, I should be able to do, whatever I want, when I want. And that's true to a certain extent, but this is just like a job, right? You have to show up. This is not automated. This is not passive income, right? This is not any of that. You have to show up every day. You have to be accountable every day. You have to be prompt every day. You have to be motivated every day, right? So if those are your weak spots, those are your weak areas, you have to fix those, right? Um, and there's a number of things to do to fix those, right? There's a number of things to fix. I think the only real one that is probably just a few ways to fix, which is greed, is either, you finally saying, you know, fuck it, I'm gonna do right, or you just lose enough money, right? Those are probably the only two ways to fix those, but everything else can be fixed in a magnitude of ways. You just have to find out which way best works for you to be able to fix what you're not good at, right? Before you get on the charts, before you start talking about pips, before you start talking about zones, time confluency, order blocks, all these type of terminologies, right? Learn that stuff. Learn how to be a better person, right? And if you think I'm just talking, if you think that, this is not going to make you any money, you're thinking, hey, I need to know um fundamentals. I need to know, technical analysis first. What are you talking about, right? You're someone who's probably not going to succeed in this field, right? You're probably not going to succeed in this field, and that's fine. This is for everyone, but it's not for anyone, right? So that's perfectly fine, right? Just like anything else, any other, field, doctor, lawyer, same thing. Same thing applies in this. It's not for everyone. It's not, and that's okay. But this is the one thing where everyone has a fair chance, right? You have a fair chance. It doesn't matter if you're dumb. It doesn't matter if you're smart, right? You have a fair chance. I'm telling you, right? It does not matter if you are, black. It does not matter if you're white. It doesn't matter if you're Latino. It does not matter if you're Asian. It does not matter if you're blue, purple, green. You have a fair chance in this, right? And at the end of the day, for anyone who's looking to better their situation, all you can ever ask for is a chance, right? All you can ever ask for is a chance, right? The American dream is based off of hope, right? And with hope, you need a chance. And currency trading, you have a chance, right? Now it's not easy. I'm not gonna lie and say it's easy. When I first started, I would probably tell people it's easy, this, that, and the third. But truthfully, it's not. It's one of the more difficult things you can choose to do, right? But with that being said, the reward, right, is probably one of the best if you're talking about risk, right? If you're talking about, will you get your money back on investment, right, and time spent? Um, the answer to that is, will you keep going long enough to see it, right? Will you keep going long enough to see it? And a lot of people they just won't, they can't, right? And that's just life. People have to fall off. It's a part of life, right? It's a part of life. Everybody can't go to the top. Everybody can't be number one. Everybody can't be elite, right? It just is what it is. I'm not gonna say those people are mediocre or they're not, what they are, but that's just what it is. Everybody can't be that number one. Everybody can't be that top dog. So before you get on the charts, self-improve. Self-improve, right? Self-improve. All right. That's the first thing. Before you get on the charts, be willing, be willing to self-improve in every aspect that's your weak in. And the things that you're strong in, make them stronger, right? But focus on those weakness, right? Focus on your weakness and then make your strengths even stronger, right? So that's just the first step before you get into the chart. A lot of people go into the charts, drawing lines, drawing graphs, putting just everything. They do everything, right? And they think that's gonna make them successful. And 2 months, 3 months, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, that they haven't seen any success because they don't truly know that they have to, you know, self-improve, right? You have to self-improve, right? Because this opportunity comes with a great sum of money, right? And you cannot handle money if you cannot self-improve, right? You might be able to get it, but you won't be able to maintain, you won't be able to keep, and you won't be able to produce, right? If you do not self-improve. So first things first, be willing to self-improve. I'm sorry, be willing to self-improve. Be willing to look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I'm not as great as I think. I still need to work on X, Y, and Z and work on it, right? Work on it day, right? Don't just work on it, sometime this week, then take 2 months off, work on it again, and take 4 months off and work on it again. You have to be continuously doing stuff, right? Behind me, I have a board, and it just shows me my to-do list, right? I'm pretty sure everybody made a New Year's resolution, right? And that's all fine and dandy, right? But if you're waiting until the first, if you're waiting for January the 1st every year to, start your goals, you already lost the race, right? You might as well just not even talk about it. You already lost. If you're waiting for the first, you already lost, right? You should just be flipping another page in your chapter, right? You should be flipping another page in your chapter, right? So the second thing that's gonna make you successful, trading futures or day trading in 2024, right? Aside from what do we have for number one, right? Remember, you have to be willing to self-improve on any area that you're not strong in any area that you're already strong in, you have to be able to make it even stronger, right? That's number one. Number two is you have to be organized, right? And when I say organized, I mean have a journal, right? So I think a lot of times people get on here and they tell you, have a journal, journal, this, that, and the third, but they don't tell you why, right? Like I said before, you have to be organized doing this, right? Because 9 times out of 10, if you're doing this, and you're probably doing this on the side, and that's fine. A lot of people, even in my group, a lot of people with careers, they have great careers and they're trading on the side, right? And that's fine. A lot of successful business people trade on the side, right? At the end of the day, it's a financial market, right? You don't have to be full time. That's just something that I chose to do. You don't have to choose to do that. You can make it, I don't want to say part-time because I don't think anything part-time is successful, right? But you can do it on the side, right? You don't have to make it part-time, but you can do it on the side, right? And gain success. You can gain the same success or more success as me, and you have a career, right? That's just what it is. But that's the truth of the matter. But you have to you have to get on here and everything has to be methodical, right? I mean, you can't waste a minute, right? You can't waste a minute. If you're planning to do this full time, you have to be very detailed, right? And a journal is one way to be detailed, not only because it's keeping track of your trades, it's keeping track of your P&L, right? Your profits, your losses. It's keeping track of, your position size. It's keeping track of the time that you got in the trade. It's keeping track of the time you got out the trade. It's keeping track of why you got out the trade, when you got out the trade, right? Did you meet your weekly goal in that one day or that one trade? Did you meet your daily goal in that one trade, that one day? Did you lose enough to step away from the chart, right? It's keeping all of these things written down so you'll be able to look back and hold yourself accountable, right? So if you're organized, then you'll be able to hold yourself accountable at a much greater pace, right? And a lot easier, right? You don't have to sit there, if you're on MetaTrader or something like that, you don't have to sit there and, scroll, day by day by day by day by day, right? Because I'm pretty sure if people out there, if you ever, actually traded, you know that nobody's going back. If you had one account, right? If you're not just you're blowing accounts, right? Then if you had like one account or a few accounts to go back from the day you started to the current day, that's too much. That's too much scrolling, right? So it's better to just track it in a journal so you can just be able to flip the page and know, or flip a few pages and know, hey, this was a month ago, this was 2 months ago. This was first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, right? First quarter from last year, second quarter from last year, third quarter from 3 years ago, right? You'll be able to keep track of all of those things, right? You have to be organized. You have to be very detailed and very methodical in what you do. So, those are two very, very, very important things. Um, and those are two things before we even get into, the concept of trading, right? Those are two basic things, right? Be able to want to self-improve and also, have the ability to be organized, right? So those are two things when you talk about success in trading that most people they will not gravitate towards, right? A lot of times people aren't having success in trading, they'll keep looking at the chart, right? They'll keep looking at the chart. They're trying to find a different method, a different style, different lot sizes, right? A different way of entering a lot sizes. They'll do everything but the things they need to do. They'll do everything except the gritty stuff, right? This is the stuff that nobody wants to do. Nobody wants to sit there and feel like they're in school again. Now, granted this schoolwork getting you paid, right? This schoolwork is getting you paid. So, I mean, hey, if you're one of those people who feels like, you don't want to feel like you're in school, um, I mean, hey, you probably won't be successful at no point in life, right? Just my opinion, you know, take it for what it's worth, but I mean, that's just how I feel. But you can't look at it like that. You have to look at it as far as it's benefiting you, right? I know some people have a bad taste in their mouth from school. You feel like it was a waste of time, right? But don't take that experience and try to group it with everything else, right? Don't try to group that bad experience with everything else, right? Um, the third thing that I would say would make a lot of people very successful in 2024 and I think it would up the number of successful traders. Obviously, if they don't quit, we would have more traders. But you know, uh, be able to walk away. That's number one. Be able to walk away. Um, we have something in our hand that a lot of people will never have. And they probably will in the future, but as far as like right now, they don't have the ability to make a weekly salary in 30 minutes. Right? They don't have the opportunity to be able to make a monthly salary in an hour, right? They don't have the opportunity, right? So when you're getting into this, you're getting into trading, based on, what you come in with, you have to be grateful for everything, right? This is not a get rich quick scheme, right? Now you can get rich fast doing this, but you have to be realistic, right? A lot of people aren't ready mentally for that kind of money. So if you're not ready mentally for that kind of money, you know, you won't be blessed with it, right? And that's just is what it is. But just because you're not ready for that kind of money right then and there does not mean you cannot make a living, right? Doing this in the meantime until you develop that mindset, right? But it all starts with having the ability to walk away, right? If I have a $10,000 account and I make, 4,000 a day, but I didn't follow through, am I going to be mad? You just made 4,000 in a day, right? That's a lot of people's monthly salaries. A lot of people aren't even making that a month. I mean, let's just be realistic. A lot of people are not making 4,000 a month, and you just made 4,000 in one trade. You have to be grateful, right? You have to be able to walk away, you know, analyze what happened, analyze what went wrong, if anything went wrong, right? Um, Analyze why you felt a certain way at a certain time that made you close it. Why did you not follow through with your target point if you didn't, right? If you got out early before it hit your target point, why? You have to be able to identify all those things, right? So that you can continuously walk away, but be able to walk away in a better position every time, right? Because you're learning, but also you're always going to walk away, right? It's never yours until you close it and withdraw it, right? The money is never yours until you close it and withdraw it. So, don't sit there and watch the money running up like it's on a money counter. That money is not in real life, right? It's not real until you withdraw it or close that trade, right? You're trying to watch it like a money counter and it's gonna go up, right? And go down. Now the go down might just be back trace, but mentally, can you withstand that you know enough about the market right then and there to be able to hold it as it's going down or going up, just backtrace and then continues with the move? Probably not. So you have to be able to walk away, you know? Um, it doesn't take too much to make six figures a year, right? Break everything down. Break everything down like that, and you'll be a lot more successful, right? Be very strategic when you're doing things. Be very intentional when you're doing things in the market. Um, don't just sit here and trade to say you had the biggest move, right? I feel like a lot of times, or a lot of what's been going on lately, or a lot of people are trying to catch these big moves that a lot of traders are catching, right? Instead of actually making money off of them, right? So you're on here like an art class, pretty much, because you're not making money. You're on here like an art class, right? You're trying to have the best. You're trying to have the Picasso, right? And that's all fine and dandy if you know how to make that Picasso, if you know how to manage that Picasso, right? It's all fine and dandy. But if you don't, you have to be willing to take I mean, your Mickey D's picture, you have to be fine with that. But just know, I mean, Mickey D's is worth billions, right? So, you might not be worth trillions, right? Trying to have the Picasso, but you'll be worth billions, right? So just think of it like that. Don't be out here trying to trace the perfect trade. All of that is gonna come in time, right? Don't be out here trying to have your stuff like theirs. A lot of times you see traders making, or a lot of traders that have been in the game for a long time, besides some of the greats, right? Like Q Banks and traders like that, the godfather of trading, right? Especially for indices. People like that, they can get those sniper positions and hold them, right? But also this is their ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th year, right? They've been doing it for a minute. This might be your first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, right? You haven't even seen half the stuff he's seen, or you haven't seen half the stuff they've seen, or you haven't gone through enough, right? So you can't sit here and try to have your trade just like them, right? You have to do what works for you, right? And at the end of the day, we're all trading to make money. So, whenever you're blue, when it's reasonable. Now don't get into trading, you close it before the win was worth the risk. Right. Now that's just you being scary and you have to spend more time studying. Right. But what I'm saying is if you're at a certain amount that people are not making in a day, that people are not making in a week, that people are not making in an hour, if you're just new, right? You have to be grateful you have to take that money, right? We have to take that money. We're literally printing money, right? It's on the floor. Either you're gonna grab it or you're gonna watch it go by. But we're printing money, right? So um I'm not gonna hold you guys too much. I just think that that's really what's gonna take you guys to the next level. And like I said, I want everybody to get to the next level. Now, of course, for anybody out there saying, well, why don't you just give out stuff for free? Don't be stupid. Right. I would just say don't be stupid. Right. If you're good at anything, never do it for free. And also, people don't cherish things if they don't have any skin in the game. Right. And if you have to pay for something, you're gonna take it more serious. Right. Now, whether someone takes something serious or not, it's not for me, to decide, right? Because I take it serious. This is what I do, but for as far as like me worrying about someone else taking it serious, that's not up to me. The only thing I can do is put people in position, give people a chance to be in position and continue to learn and grow myself and be able to be of service to more people. But the game is not told, it's sold. So always remember that. Um, but yeah, I feel like all of that is gonna make it's gonna turn your 2024 into one of your best years so far, right? It's not gonna be your best year. Your best year has yet to come, but it's gonna be one of your best years so far. I promise you, if you guys stick with that stuff, actually, break it down, actually take those things that I said and actually have a plan behind them today, right? Or whenever you guys see this, right? I'm telling you, it's more to trading than just lines, bars, and fibs, right? I'm trying to look. I'm trying to put you on to game, right? There's more to trading than just that. Follow those things, actually put the time in, and you'll see the results. You'll see the results. So I don't like to be on here too long. I feel like people's attention, is pretty short. I know mine is, I like to get straight to the point. So, take those gems and, use them, right? Use them. If you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me digital_money_Marv, right? Follow me on Instagram. I have a link tree in my bio. It has the free chat. It has as our back office, right? You can access or you can contact me through either DM or through there. Um, just follow me on IG, right? If you're not subscribed to the page, subscribe to the page. I promise you, I'm never gonna put out no BS. It's always gonna be stuff that's gonna help you, that's gonna push you along, motivate you, and you never know what you need to hear, right? This could be what you needed to hear to push you through 2024, right? So subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram, digital_money_Marv, right? And I see you guys at the top because the bottom is not an option.